Do you find yourself procrastinating at all the things? You find yourself pushing off recovery. Maybe you want change, but you push it off. You procrastinate. You're a high achiever, you're a planner, you're a go-getter, but when it comes to changing your unhealthy relationship with food and the behaviors around it, you procrastinate. You wait to eat later in the day, you save room for calories. Why is this? In today's episode, I'm going to be talking all about procrastination and recovery and what you can do to stop procrastinating so you can start living your very best life. Let's dive in to today's show. Hey girl, welcome to the Her Best Self podcast. I'm Lindsay Nickel, former competitive figure skater and perfectionist, turned God-led imperfect boy mom and digital CEO. If you find yourself constantly thinking about food and wondering if you'll wake up one day free from the obsessive thoughts and behaviors controlling your life, then I've created this podcast for you because I know exactly what it's like to be a downright hot mess trapped in the destructive cycle of disordered eating. I finally found freedom, and you can too, girlfriend. So if you're ready to heal your relationship with food and body and break the chains of control and show up in your best health, then grab your favorite Tarjay journal and let's get to it so you can start living your best life as your best self. Ecclesiastes 11:3-4. When clouds are heavy, the rains come down. Whether a tree falls north or south, it stays where it falls. Farmers who wait for perfect weather never plant. If they watch every cloud, they never harvest. Sis, today I want to talk to you about procrastination and recovery and what you can do to stop it dead in its tracks. If you're finding yourself pushing off your recovery journey, maybe you started 3 steps forward, 2 steps backwards, and you keep saying it can wait till tomorrow. This is just too hard right now. This season of my life, it's just too much. I have too many other things that I need to be focusing on, and I promise I'll get to it, but just not today. Maybe you want change, but you procrastinate the actions that are actually going to get you changing. You're a high achiever, a planner, a go-getter. Believe me, I get you because I'm all those things too. But your current unhealthy and disordered eating behaviors are the opposite. You actually procrastinate, but you can be on top of other things in your life. Maybe you wait to eat later in the day. Maybe, like my previous journey, you saved room for all of the calories later in the day. Experts define procrastination as a self-defeating behavior. It is a pattern that is marked by short-term benefits and long-term cost. It's honestly normal for most people to put off the hard things from the top of their to-do list. But if you're finding yourself sabotaging your recovery or your desire to do the thing, your desire to change, then today's show is for you because I want you to understand why it is that you do what you do and you put off the thing and what you can do about it, because that's what's going to lead you to that transformation. Did you know that 20 to 30% of the population are actually chronic procrastinators? And even though putting things off until later seems like stress, people delay action now so that they can feel better in control now. And that means that they wait and wait and wait. And maybe you're a waiter, maybe you're a procrastinator. And while this makes some sense, procrastination actually leaves you in this unhealthy cycle, the cycle that drives stress, that creates even more anxiety, that creates self-doubt, that leaves you with that low confidence and that hopelessness. And if you're there, sis, I see you. I see you. But the truth is that procrastinating, it actually enforces the mindset that you just can't change, or you'll change tomorrow, or you'll change when the kids are in school, or you'll change when you feel like it, because guess what? You will always feel this way if you're always going to be tied to the beliefs that this is all you're ever going to be. And the real truth behind all of it, the real raw truth, is that you wouldn't procrastinate unless it gave you something. You wouldn't do it unless you got something from it. As humans, we don't do things without some sort of reward. And the first step to getting real with why you tend to procrastinate, whether that's in your recovery other things in your life, or putting off food, putting off meals, putting off changing your behaviors around food, is to peel back why you're putting off the thing. Why? For me, I was scared that if I ate earlier, I'd eat more. And truthfully, I was scared that I would be more hungry in the afternoon if I ate earlier in the morning. And what happened if I gained weight because then I ate more at night? I remember opening the fridge only to not know what to eat. But sis, I had just left the grocery store. I mean, my place was stocked full of snacks on snacks on snacks. And I still felt confused, overwhelmed, and like I just couldn't get it. And then I would put it off for tomorrow and put it off for the next day and put it off some more. But procrastinating at getting better, it actually allowed me to stay in a current comfort zone. And what I had to do, and what I work with many of my private clients on, is defining what it is that you're scared of. I was terrified. I was scared that I created this vision in my mind that because I wasn't a creature of change, I just wasn't going to change. And so if I could procrastinate at the hard, if I could say I was confused, and if I could put it off tomorrow, then I wouldn't have to do it. I wouldn't have to face the fear and do it anyway. And I knew if I went all in, I'd actually have to go all in, because that's the type of person I am. But the longer you delay, the longer you get to sit in denial. I want you to hear it, friend. The longer you delay, the longer you get to sit in denial. I'll get to it when I get to it. Years, decades later, we're here. Why? Well, procrastination, it's a symptom of a feeling and an underlying belief. And understanding the different types of procrastination are so very important. You see, there's perfectionists, there's dreamers, there's blamers, there's overdoers. I had all these things. As a perfectionist, or recovered perfectionist, as I say now, I was scared to do recovery wrong. Maybe you're there too. I was scared. I knew if I was going to put this up against my own self and make it an accomplishment and something that I achieved, that I had to go all in, and I was terrified of doing it wrong. I wanted to do it right. I lived in that place of black and white thinking. That place of I can't fail for one day. I have to do it the way it needs to be done. I was also a dreamer, and I wanted so badly to find the destination of recovery, but I would think so long on the dream, and I would sit there so often that it was so big, and so I would never act. I talk about the blamer. I blamed others. I blamed my past. I blamed poor choices. I blamed myself, and I hung on to that lack of forgiveness, and that kept me in that place. It kept me procrastinating. And of course, I was an overdoer. I wanted to take on all the things. I wanted to heal every single thing that I did nothing because I became overwhelmed and there was too much anxiety around recovery for me. Yes, I wanted to eat earlier, and I wanted to make sure I was gaining weight in a healthy way, and I wanted to make sure I was taking supplements, and I wanted to make sure that I was attending all the groups, and I was talking to my therapist, and I was meeting with my dietitian, and I was doing all of the thinking models and the mindset work, and I was journaling, and I was practicing yoga. I mean, how exhausting does that sound? Especially when you're running on fumes and you're malnourished. But the good news is that even though procrastination led me down a long road of low self-esteem, a cycle of flipping mess, and poor impulse control, clinging to my eating disorder only for it to quicksand me deeper down into the pit, is that I realized that procrastination is learned. That's right, it's learned. And so it can be unlearned, just like these unhealthy coping mechanisms and behaviors that you are now doing to yourself with food. So the first thing you have to do to look at procrastination square in the face is to identify it. Identify the real reason that you may be putting the thing off. Identify it. Maybe you're scared to eat earlier because you're scared you're going to have to eat more for the day. What if that's not true? What if you need more? What if getting real and present? What if listening to your body? I mean, isn't that what you ultimately desire anyways? I want you to hold that reason captive. That why. Why are you putting the thing off? Because it feels hard? Life's hard. It wasn't meant to be easy. But you can create a new way. And then I want you to set some realistic expectations and tangible goals. For example, if you want to eat earlier in the day and you feel like it's just too hard because you're scared to death, can you eat 1 hour earlier? If you want to get away from counting calories, can you send somebody else to the grocery store so that you'll stop looking at labels to define your purchase? If you want to be able to feel more comfortable around choosing something to eat because half the time you feel like you're not even sure what to eat, what is normal eating anyway, come up with 5 go-tos you can constantly have available for you. Just so when it's your time to eat, you can go to those things. What is a realistic expectation for you and a tangible goal that you can practice this week? And then, and I'm underscoring then, get some accountability. I don't care if it's our private Facebook community because you are going to love it in there, Hope and Healing for Eating Disorder Recovery, or if you want to hire me as your eating disorder recovery coach, or if there's another coach you have in mind, just get some accountability. It is so important to talk to someone, to work with someone who has expertise in this field and who's walked the walk. Because procrastination, it's actually the cousin of fear. And when we feel anxiety around the thing, who wants to do the thing? Not me. I learned though, that in order to completely rid myself from the stuckness, from this feeling like I was never going to jump, this feeling that I just wanted relief, but it seemed so hard to get it, I learned I had to leap. I had to leap. I had to dive into the deep end. I had to do it. I had to just do it, as Nike says. And now, sis, I challenge myself to do the hard thing as the first thing. Every single day in my personal life, in my business, with my kids, with my family, and again, of course, obviously in my nutrition as I am recovered from my eating disorder, but continuously put the hard thing as the first thing. So I want to challenge you to do that today too. What is that thing that you've been putting off? What feels hard? What is that procrastination that's coming up for you? Is it because you're trying to be perfect? Is it because you're trying to take on too much? Is it because maybe you don't have boundaries to say no to others, so you constantly feel overwhelmed, like you're overdoing it? Or you're blaming your past or someone in your past or yourself? I heard this saying that procrastination is the assumption that God will allow you another opportunity tomorrow to do what he already gave you the time to do right now. And that hit me, and I hope it hits you today too. Because I want you to meet today's junk with today's strength, even if you don't have much of it. Later is too late. Stop putting off what you can do right now. One action after another is what's going to create momentum for you. That's what's going to create empowerment and confidence. But avoiding the hard, well, sis, that just creates more of it. That just creates more hard. So today, I hope if you take away something from the show, that you'll ask yourself, what am I putting off tomorrow that I can do right now? And why am I putting it off? Get real with you. Get some time to reflect with you. And if you need a helping hand guiding you along, I might just be your girl. You can come on out to lindsaynickel.com, fill out a client application. I'd love to work with you. I've got limited availability for 2024, but I've also brought on another eating disorder recovery coach, and I just can't wait for her to get some additional clients as well. So if you're looking for support, come on out. We can't wait to help you get there. You can do it, sis. Jump in the deep end. Just do it and challenge yourself to do the hard thing as the first thing. I'll talk to you real soon. Bye for now. Oh, friend, thank you so much for letting me share what was on my heart today. My hope for this podcast is to help more women find freedom from food and body. If this has empowered or blessed you, let me know. I'd be honored for your rating and review of my show, and I'd love to connect with you in my private Facebook community. You really can move from perfection to purpose. Let's break the chains together. I'll help navigate the way. Until next time, bye for now, girl.